Yes, welcome to my channel. Still, we are continuing with our series and tutorials where we are looking at drafting a bodice block. In the first series, we looked at taking body measurements for drafting a bodice block of a kid, a young person. And we said the major measurements required are the natural waist length, the cross back, and the waist. That those measurements are very perfect to give us uh, an outlook of the bodice block of a young child. We don't need many because at this channel we are simplifying every step as far as drafting and tailoring is concerned. Therefore, we shall start from where we stopped and continue from there. One, as we can see, we have to first do calculations. After getting the measurements, we calculate them, we simplify them to fit on the required scale that we are using. For example, crossback. The measurements we get for crossback, as we can see, has to be divided by 2. Crossback measurements are divided by 2. As we can see here, we divide X back measurement by 2, simply because when we are measuring, you see, when we were measuring crossback, we measured from here, measured from this part to this part. But now when we are drafting, we only want one part. We only want this part from here to here to here, like this. We only want this part. This is the only part that we want to draft. Then when we cut it when it is folded, then we get our full scale of the back. So when we are drafting, we draft only one portion like this, a quarter of the body. So that's why we have to divide it by 2 to get us a value that we can use. Waist, sorry about this, waist is divided by 4, not by 2. The waist measurement, we also divide it by 4, because when we are measuring waist, we actually measure the round waist. When we are measuring waist, we are measuring the whole of this part, round waist. So we are actually measuring 4 proportions, and therefore when we are drafting, we draft only one proportion. So what we do, we divide the measurement we have for waist by 4 to get only one portion to represent the body on our drafting scale. Therefore, you don't need to get all that, just simply just know that waist, the measurement I get for waist, I'll have to divide it by 4. The measurement I get for cross back, I have to divide it by 2. Natural waist length, you don't divide, you leave it because it's a length measurement. We don't divide the length measurement. So after dividing by 4, we come here. This is our starting point. From here, we draw a straight line going down up to here, and that one is our natural waist line. From here to here, we measure natural waist. NWL stands for natural waist line or natural waist length. We measure that part. From here to here, this is our cross back that we divided by 2, the value we got, we measured it here. After getting it, we square it down. That means from here to here is also the cross back measurement. From here to here is also the cross back measurement. Even from here to here is also the cross back measurement. So we square. Squaring is very important. So you make sure you draw a perfect square. You square cross back over 2, cross back over 2, cross back over 2. So you get your perfect square. So you see in here, we are only using the cross back measurements. After getting that, we have to shape our shoulder. The shoulder is never straight, so we have to measure here a half. From here to here we measure a half to slant the shoulder because the shoulder is not straight. Then from here to here to here, as we can see here, you measure 2 inches. Even here you also measure 2 inches to cater for the neck. So the neck of the front, we measure 2 inches by 2 inches for the front neck. After that, we join this point of the 2 inches with a half inch that we measured while shaping the shoulder. So these points of 2 inches on the neck, we join them with our French curve like this, form our neck curve like that. After that, we come here at this point, we measure 1.5 inches and add it there. We have measured 1.5. From here, we add it. This is an allowance which is called armhole ease allowance, because the armhole, when you're moving, the armhole is always moving. The arm is never stagnant, it is always moving. So even when you're making garments, we make sure we cater for that ease of the armhole such that it is free. So that's why we are adding 1.5 inches or 1 inch. For kids, it can also work. So we add it for armhole ease allowance for carving. After that, we come here down on the waistline. This is the waistline. We measure our waist out of 4. We put it there. Then we join it with the armhole line like this. So there we say we have gotten our bodice, but it's not yet complete. We have to also shape the armhole. How? Come here with the French curve, connect this part with this part, and draw your armhole curve like this. As you draw your armhole curve, make sure the front is curved inside, it is not straight. So you curve it very well. It comes inside like this, then it comes out like that. So that's how simple it is to make a front part of a bodice. Now we need to see how fast we can get a back part from this. We need to see how to get a back part. Let me first erase this. Otherwise, it is very simple to do. You just use your few measurements that you get, and they give you all the other estimations. Because when you're making garments for a kid, you don't need too much of fitting, because kids play too much. You need to give them that allowance. When they are playing with their fellows, they are free. So that's why we give in some of these big allowances. Now, to get the back part, we make sure we get our front and just make a few adjustments, because if we check the back of a person or of anyone, the back part does not go down like this. Wait, the front part, you see, it goes down like this, but the back is not curved downward, it is not deep. So what we do, we make sure we reduce on this depth of the neck. We make it 1 inch instead of 2. We make it 1 inch, but the width remains. So we make 2 inches by 1 inch. We make the back neck. Then we come, as we curve the armhole, make sure this does not go inside. It comes almost straight, then it curves, or it enters a little bit, not like the front, and it curves. But for a kid, you can even cut it when it is the same, and you just make adjustments on the neck. This clearly shows us that we are cutting this on fold. This means it is on fold. When you're cutting the garment, it is on fold. And this is the center front line. CF stands for center front line. So when you cut this on fold, after unfolding, it gives you a full front part. And also when you cut the back, it gives you a full back part. And when you join them, you get your bodice. So you can see after joining, after cutting them on fold, this is the fold line. After cutting on fold a fabric, it comes out like this. Now this is our front bodice cut from a cloth. When you check this, this can be the back bodice cut from the cross. So when these ones are joined just on the shoulders like this, you find you almost having a complete garment. So this is as simple as that. This is the top line, this is the side line, this is the waist line. Side line means the armhole line, where the armhole stops. It's a term that is used, arm side, a term to mean armhole line. So when you have this, then we say you have a bodice. You just left with maybe attacking sleeves, and maybe you shape the neck, you put a collar or you put a binding, and you're good to go. Therefore, what was important here today is knowing the calculations that are needed to make a kid's bodice. And we've seen you need to get the waist measurements, you divide it by 4, not by 2, but by 4. Cross-back measurements, you divide them by 4. Cross-back measurements, you divide them by 2.